All right. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
to orientation, psychology orientation. My name is Chrissy Lofgren, and I am A through L, advising last names for the psychology major.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jessica Herrera, and I'm the academic advisor also for psychology and through Z.
Yay. So
Yay.
we're going to go through our presentation this morning, and hopefully we're going to answer a lot of your questions, but we'll have the Q&A session that we will do after our presentation. So hold your questions until our presentation, and then hopefully we will answer everything. But just to throw it out there now, I want to let you know that Jessica and myself are both alumni. We are both CSUMB psychology alumni.
That's
So
right.
not only are we the advisors for the program, but we have done the program. So we know the program in and out, we know the faculty, we are excellent resources. So please make sure you do chat with us at some point. So
Definitely.
we ready to rock and roll?
We're ready. Let me share my screen.
All right.
1 second here. There it is. Okay. Okay. So, welcome to psychology, our transfer students. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, so some prerequisites for the major. I know we put this out in an email, and you will learn very quickly that Jessica and myself like to email, and I will say mostly myself, I'm an email offender. But anyways, everybody needs intro to psychology, whether it was done at your community college or whether you did AP Psych with a score of 3 or higher. Everybody will need a statistics course, a B4 math course, which is statistics. And the last prerequisite for the major is lower division research methods. If you did not have a lab at your community college, that's okay. When you meet with Jessica and myself during the spring semester, we'll fix that for you in your degree requirements. So don't worry about it. But if you have not yet taken lower division research methods, then you definitely should chat with one of us. You know, probably shoot us an email, I would say, after orientation.
Alrighty. Okay, so we sent an email about first classes for your semester here at CSUMB, but we're going to go over a few of them today as well. So we recommend that you take about 15 or 16 units to stay on track to graduate in 4 semesters, if that is your goal, to graduate in 2 years. But 12 units is considered full-time. So this is about, the 15 units is about 4 to 5 classes, depending on how many units they are. 12 will be about, 3 or 4, again, depending on how many units. It's really up to you. You have to decide what's going to be best for you, especially this semester we're going to be virtual. So everything is online, whether it's a lab or a class, everything is going to be online. So you want to take that into consideration as well. So for the first semester, if you've completed those prerequisites that we mentioned in the last slide, we recommend you take Psych 300. This is our kind of first intro to the major welcome kind of class. You learn about different careers that you can do in psychology, and it just kind of helps you get into the mindset of what can I do with psychology. We recommend upper division general education courses. So there are 3 different categories that you have to complete for upper division general ed. This is separate from anything that you did at your community college. It has to be done here at CSUMB. And again, there's 3 categories. So upper division B, upper division C, and upper division D. You're going to want to pick 1 class from each of those categories. And all together, that's going to add up to 9 units. You don't have to take all of these your first semester. These are just options. So it's your choice to pick from the list that we give you. You can take a combo of anything that we're throwing out there to you. And we'll show you how to find those classes and where to look so you can see what's being offered. We also have a language requirement here at CSUMB. So this is different, from a lot of other schools, but our psychology students or any students that are getting their bachelor's of arts have to get to the intermediate level of a language other than English. So You can do this a lot of different ways. So some of you might have taken AP Spanish or Japanese at your high school. If you got a 4 or 5, then you're done with the requirement. If you got a lower score than that, you might have maybe gotten some of the language out of the way, but you might need one more extra semester. If you're fluent in a language, definitely check in with me and Chrissy because you have some options there. But you need to have a college level course for this. So high school classes don't count unless they're AP. If you took a couple of classes at your community college, you just have to make sure it's an intermediate level. So usually that's like the 3rd semester. So you have to show that you're proficient in the language. We offer Spanish, Japanese, American Sign Language, and Italian here at CSUMB. So if you've never taken any language or if it's been a long time and you have to start, it takes, like I said, about 3 semesters. So you want to start that as soon as possible, the 1st semester. So you have enough time to kind of go through the semesters you need. If you're not too sure about where you place or what you should do with your language, then definitely check in with me or Chrissy and we can kind of talk to you about your situation. But that's something that you have to make sure we get through for this 1st semester.
I see I gave you the hard slides this time.
You did.
I love it. Okay, so your psychology core classes, you're going to need 1 from each of these categories. A question that Jessica and I get a lot is, hey, I took developmental psych and I took social psych and I took abnormal psych at my community college, so I'm done, right? You're not done. It's actually, you've got a really good basis now, which we love. And now that you're here at Cal State Monterey Bay, you're going to take upper division classes. So you need 1 from each of these categories. So you'll need 1 from upper division statistics, which is Psych 301 or 305. I will also mention everything highlighted green was open as of this morning. If it's white, that means that class is currently closed. So again, everything that's written here in green, we have open and you can take if you've met the prereqs for the 1st semester. So we have upper division statistics open, Psych 301 plus the matching lab. You will always take the matching lab for every psychology class. Psych 302 is your upper division research methods. So you've done hopefully lower division at the community college. Now you're going to do upper division. It's also built in as our upper division writing class, or what we call here at Cal State Monterey Bay, Guar. Biopsych, you'll need 1 class from either upper division Psych 310 plus the matching lab or 315 psychopharmacology. Both those classes are closed as of now, so you can take them next semester. We have classes open in clinical. You'll need 1 class from clinical. Doesn't matter what you take. Right now we have Psych 321, which is clinical psych open, or 329 plus the matching lab, which is health psychology. Or we have our new class, which is Psych 395, Section 2, and that one is COVID-19, Trauma, Loss, and Growth, which unfortunately we're all kind of going through right now. But that one will actually count for clinical psych. You just need to let either Jessica or myself know so we can make a substitution in the system for you. For cognitive psych, right now the class that we have open is Psych 333 plus the matching lab, which is Cog Neuroscience. We do have other options. They're just not open for the spring semester. For developmental psych, you need something in the 340s. Developmental psych is closed as of now for spring. But for social psych, we do have social psych and social justice, which is Psych 355. There's no lab that goes with that. Or we have another brand new class, which is Psych 395, social psych and social issues. That is Section 3 and 4. Again, Jessica and I would need to go in and substitute that for social psychology, but it's an excellent social psychology class about what's happening in the world right now. And again, I know I keep saying plus the matching lab, but you just have to remember that if you're taking Psych 333 Section 2, you have to make sure you take Section 2 lab. Everything has to match. That's the mic drop. Boom.
Alrighty, so some more options for you for the 1st semester. So you have a lot of options here. We have our upper division service learning requirement. So back in the good old days when we were in person, you would actually go out to different sites and do hours, like community service hours at different places. Because we are all virtual, everything is online, like I mentioned earlier. You're still able to do your service hours, they're just virtual hours. So the service learning department has gotten very creative with the different kinds of things that students are doing and places that they're doing their hours. So it's definitely a different experience, but it's pretty awesome, the stuff that our students are doing. So you can definitely take a class like this your first semester. We recommend the classes listed here. So SL491S is really great. And the cool thing about some of these classes that we have listed here is they actually count for multiple requirements. So SL491S, as an example, will cover your upper division service learning, and it also covers ethnic studies, which is another requirement that you have to complete at CSUMB. We have our 391S class at Psych. It's in our department. The big thing about that one, you do have to have all the prerequisites completed before you take that class in psychology. So if you haven't taken Intro to Research Methods, then maybe taking one of the other SL classes might be a better option for this first semester. There's also a couple in SBS that are being offered and promoted for our students, so you're welcome to take those. And we have MPA 317S as well, which is another class that covers for multiple requirements. And it's an upper division D class along with service learning. So those double dippers are kind of nice if you're trying to streamline your units. You get knock out 2 things in one. The other requirement listed there is the ethnic studies. So if you're not able to get into one of the classes that double counts for something, or if you need units and you want to take a different class, we do have an ethnic studies requirement. This one can be completed from your community college, but it has to be a very specific ethnic studies course. So if you took something like that at your community college, you can always check in with Chrissy or myself, but we definitely recommend you take it here if you're not too sure if you did that requirement at your college. Plus, the units are going to count towards graduation, so it's a no-lose situation.
Yep.
Take it here.
Win-win. Win-win.
Yep.
Oh, this is my favorite slide. Permission codes. That's me up in the right-hand corner. Make it stop. Okay, so I know we get a lot of emails as well that say, Chrissy, I did my research methods, I did my statistics and my intro to psych, but the system's not letting me in. It's only because the system doesn't recognize that you took Psych 9 at Hartnell, or that you took Psych 10 at MPC, or that you took another class at a different community college. It doesn't mean that you can't take the upper division class, you just need to get a permission code. I did turn on the permission code document yesterday, so it's ready to rock and roll. There are a few people that have already requested codes, so bonus to you, we will get them out to you. So make sure that you validate your courses. We're gonna show you how to do that, but when you put your classes in your shopping cart, you can click a little button and you can validate, and it will tell you right then and there if you need permission codes. You just want to make sure that you're not validating more than 18 units, because you can only take 18 units a semester right now. And if you try to validate like 20 or 25 or 28 units, it's going to come back with some red X's saying you can't take that class when maybe you can. So definitely make sure you validate. Please fill out the permission code document. I know this is a very short window. Trust me, this is like the quickest. Hi, welcome to CSUMB, you're admitted, and let's go to orientation and let's register you. This is like the quickest it's ever been. So we understand that. We will be working diligently on Monday and Tuesday. We will be around via email to help you with anything. So please take a look at that, fill out the permission code document. And again, we are going to be sending out this presentation to everybody afterwards, so you will have all of this information in one spot in your email. And just so you know, once you take Psych 300, which we definitely encourage you to take first semester if you've met the prereqs, you will not need permission codes again until your very last semester when you take Psych 400, which is your hey, I'm ready to graduate class.
All right, awesome. Alrighty, so just some important reminders and dates here. December 15th is when registration begins. So that means you are not able to register for classes until after December 15th, or on December 15th. Everybody has their own individual registration time. as well. So it's not just like at 8 a.m. like you're able to jump in and register. If you look on the right-hand side of your Oasis account, which is where you add the classes to your shopping cart, that's your main hub for a lot of the academic info at CSUMB. Right-hand side of that home screen will have your enrollment date and time listed. So make sure you check that out today or sometime so that you know exactly what time you can register, because the system will not allow you to register anytime before that time that is listed there. Make sure you try to request your codes before that date. That way we can get them out to you. The code or the form that we have you fill out is not automated. So Chrissy and I are actually in there typing away and getting you the codes. So it's not going to be something instant. We do get that question a lot, like, hey, I filled it out, where are my codes? We have to actually go in, check your prerequisites, and send out the codes to you. So it is made by humans. So give us a little time. But the sooner you get those codes requested, the sooner you can get your codes. We are going to be available, like Chrissy said, via email on Monday and Tuesday. So the quickest way to get a hold of us is to shoot us an email. And just make sure you email one of us, not both of us, because whoever you send is going to get it to you right away. But if you email both of us, it causes confusion. So just make sure you send it to one of us. A through L is Chrissy, M through Z is me. And we'll get you any questions that you have. We'll get them answered right away. January 5th is the last day to pay registration, tuition, and fees. So you have to make sure you get that payment in before that date. I know it's a quick turnaround, but you just want to make sure you have your financing situated by then. If for some reason you're not able to make the payment by that date, they do drop you from your classes. So you just want to make sure everything's squared away. If you have financial aid coming in and you have it already set up, don't worry about that date, because you're a little different situation. But just again, make sure everything's squared away. January 25th is the first day of classes, the first day of virtual classes. So you'll be, logging into your iLearn or whatever the system is in place for your class. So make sure you kind of keep an eye on your emails for if you're on iLearn or Canvas, those are learning platforms, or Zoom, depending on if you have a synchronous class, which is actually meeting online, or asynchronous is just you log in and kind of do your work at your own time. So make sure you're kind of up to speed with what format your class is being held. February 8th is the last day to add and drop classes. So unlike the community college where you can kind of take a class for a few weeks and kind of fill it out, we only give you the first 2 weeks to fill out your class and to see how you like it, if you're going to keep it or not. So February 8th is the last day to add and drop anything. You can do it in Oasis, so that's awesome. You have the ability to do that. After that, you're locked into your classes, and the only way to drop it is to actually do a formal withdrawal, which is a paper that you have to fill out. You have to have a serious compelling reason to withdraw. There's some financial obligations that go along with that. So just make sure that you're really synced up those first 2 weeks. If you have any questions or concerns about the classes that you're in, or your workload, or you're trying out the classes and you feel like maybe taking 18 units your first semester online is going to be too much, just make sure that is all figured out the first 2 weeks. Chrissy and I actually do virtual walk-in advising via email as well that first 2 weeks, so we're totally available. If you need a chat, we can set that up and just make sure that you have everything you need for that first 2 weeks. You do get a spring break, so you don't have to log into the computer for that week. And that's March 29th, April 2nd. Your learning plans. We've gotten a lot of questions and a lot of requests for learning plans. So it's a great thing that right now it's actually online. So they're in Oasis and you have access to them. Now that being said, it's not going to be 100% accurate and a good solid learning plan until we get all of your transcripts in the system and until after you register for your first semester. So I definitely encourage you to go take a look at it. If you have some time, become familiar with it, start moving things around if you want, start selecting out classes. We have videos about the learning plan and how to use it, so you can take a look at those videos on our guides and tools that we sent out. But again, it's not going to be accurate 100% until after we get all those transcripts in, which is probably going to be closer to the beginning of the semester. So I know a lot of you are eager to get your plans and you want to know what you need to take to get out of here, which we definitely want to help you with. But again, until we get everything in the system, it's going to be kind of hard to get a really good solid plan. So if you would like to make your learning plan, we recommend you make your appointment with us for, again, late January or the beginning of the semester, anytime after those first 2 weeks. You can set up an appointment with me or with Chrissy, and we'll help you set up those learning plans. We are available via Zoom, email, phone for the spring semester. So again, everything is virtual. Quickest way to get a hold of either one of us is email. We're both pretty fast with responding. So if you ever have questions, concerns, definitely reach out, send us an email. And also make sure you're sending us emails through your CSUMB email now. You all should have access to that. If you haven't set it up, it's on your dashboard. You just have to click on the mail link there, and it's through Google. So you just set up your Google account. Make sure that you're sending all of your correspondence regarding school through that email, and checking that email often, every day, multiple times a day. All of the important information, anything from about your classes or for your classes is going to be through your CSUMB email. So it's good practice to just start using it now and sending your emails to us. So yeah, we're available, we're virtual, and we're here to help you with anything that you might need.
Jessica, I did you wrong. I so gave you all the wordy slides. I'm just sitting here like humming a song in my head, thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch. Girl. Okay, so here's my very quick 2-second slide. Some helpful links. How do I add a class in Oasis? How do I validate my classes and to see if I need codes? There's a link to the catalog, the psych FAQs, and our lovely Q&A. I think that's our Q&A video that we did for the new fall students, which pretty much still pertains to you. So yeah, wow, I'm on easy street. So again, we are going to email this out to you. If not tomorrow, then, or if not this afternoon, then tomorrow morning early. We just have to get the webinar loaded onto our advising webpage so that we can send you the webinar. But don't panic. Do not panic. You got this. We are here for you. Again, I am last name A through L. Jessica has last name M through Z. We do like you to check in with us every semester to make sure that you're on track. We want you to be the dancing chicken and not the little angry girl killing her little bunny doll. So I know this is a lot of information, and we know it's all new for all of you, but we promise you we will help to make this transition as smooth as possible. You're in really good hands with us. I will boast that psychology has one of the highest graduation rates, and you know, you're in good hands. That's all I have to say. You're in good hands. So should we take some of those questions before we do the adding in Oasis? What do you think, OLs?
Yeah, let's do it.
We have a couple of questions in the Q&A feature.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll sit up straight. I'm trying to get the good lighting.
The first question is, I did not take social psych at community college. I took it at a 4-year, but for some reason at CSUMB, CSUMB counted it as it's from a community. Do I still have to take the class? So I don't know, this might be an email question.
It probably is an email question. So depending on who this question is from, I would say reach out to either Jessica or myself, because we will need to evaluate the course depending on what university you took it from. And if we feel like we can give you upper division credit for that social psychology class, then we will give you upper division credit and you will be done with that class. So again, just please reach out to us via email if you happen to have a link to a course description and or so we can look at everything. That would be very helpful. But yeah, please reach out.
The second question is, can you send the permission code from an unofficial transcript? They have just completed them this fall, so their transcripts have not been received yet.
Yes. So as long as you have completed the prerequisites, if if your grade is not in the system, sending us your unofficial transcripts is great, so we can see that you completed the class. Still fill out the form, and then Chrissy or I will probably reach out to you and just ask you, make sure that you've completed the prereq, whatever it is, and so we can get you that code. But yes, definitely, that's why you need the codes, is because it's probably not in the system yet. So that's a great question.
The next question is, how do we know our class standing?
So your class standing, you should all be juniors if you're coming in with 60 units. For the most part, when you hit 60 units, you're a junior. You're a senior if you have 90 units. And you can only transfer 70 units from a community college. So typically, other than a couple of you that maybe have classes from other CSUs or other universities, typically all of you are going to be juniors. I will also say too that there are only a handful of you, last time I checked, and I want to say maybe 5 of you that do not have your CSUMB emails turned on. So if you are one of them, and I actually have a list, we know who you are, please email Jessica or myself so that we can get you codes with the lecture and the section that you want. But everybody else, we would really like you to log into your CSUMB and use your CSUMB email, because it's a lot easier for us.
The next question is, can we do more than one minor?
No, so I think usually we just recommend, if you're going to do one, you only do one. We can only declare one in the system. So one minor should be plenty if you take any minors at all. They're not required. It really just depends on if that's something that's going to help you with your educational goals. But definitely I would just kind of select one. It goes on your transcripts. It's not on anything like your diploma. So just completing one is probably best.
Yeah, and 2 minors would definitely keep you here extra semesters. So
it's something we can chat about if you have more questions about that.
And our next question is, hello, I have forgotten, can classes that are prerequisites for another class be taken at the same time as classes that are required for those prerequisites?
Yeah, no. So you need the prereqs before you can start. So which is the intro to psych, the statistics, and the lower division research methods before you can start psychology upper division classes. Again, reach out to your advisor.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the next question is, do we have to jump into a straight intermediate language course or build to the intermediate course?
If you have no background in another language and you're starting from, the very super basics, then absolutely you do not have to jump into intermediate. You can definitely build up to it. So again, if you're starting from the very beginning, that's the level 101 on our campus, and you can take any of the 4 that we listed earlier. You can only, if you have experience, have background, then that's when you jump into the intermediate. But if you're not too sure about kind of where you stand, definitely check in with us. We do have a placement test for Spanish only available on our CSUMB website. We sent it out in emails, but you can definitely chat with us if you're not too sure.
Good questions.
So the next question is there upper division housing on campus? If so, this available during COVID?
So you should definitely check in with housing. I know they are making some exceptions, but that's definitely a housing question. So hopefully your OLs can lead you in the right direction after this, and you can chat with somebody in housing. I'm wondering if we should show Oasis really quick, Jessica, so that way we can make sure we show them.
Yeah.
What do you think?
While you're pulling it up,
yes.
You want me to keep going with questions?
Yes, I am in. Yes, I'll pull it up.
Or you're in already. You're in already.
I am in already. So I think I will screen share. All right, so I'm going to screen share right now so we can show you a couple things. Boom. So when you log on from your dashboard and you click Oasis, I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So here's your dashboard. This is where you turn on your email. And Oasis, when you click Oasis, oh, come on. Is it not going to let me get back over there? Jessica, how do I get back over there?
Is it another down at the bottom where the Chrome is, can you click on that? Does it show you different windows?
No.
Oh, is it that one?
Oh.
Employee facing register content? That one.
Hello, technical error. So this is Monty's Student Center. So when you click Oasis, this is what it's going to look like. And they gave us a student that already registered. Okay, so your Oasis will look a little different because over here on the right-hand side, it will say enrollment time and day. And that's going to say Tuesday, December 15th, and they will have staggered times. So some students may start at 8:30, some students may start at 9. They go by units from what we understand. It is out of our control. It's registrar's office that assigns times. So again, make sure you check right-hand side under enrollment, and that's where it will be your enrollment time. So what would you like me to show them first?
Let's do search for
Okay.
classes.
So you need to filter it. So you're going to filter it for spring 21. What would you like me to search for, Jessica?
So let's go ahead and search for Psych 300, since that's our
That is
first
an
class that we recommended.
excellent choice, considering we're all psych majors. So
yeah, if you know the exact class, you can type it into that box where it says course number, and then it's only going to bring up that specific class. So easy, quick way to do that. But if you don't know the class, if you want to see everything, you just make sure you select 2 criteria. You have to at least do 2. So psychology, undergrad, it's only going to show you the open classes if you have that box selected. We're going to do a search, and now you can see all of our psych classes that are being offered, that are open. So it'll narrow it down for you. So again, you can refer back to the list that we sent out. Any of the classes that are open, you can take as long as you've done those prerequisites. If you haven't taken those prerequisites, again, check in with me or Chrissy so we can talk about your options. But
I just noticed too that it's not letting me select anything, Jessica.
Yeah, I don't think it's an active student.
So there's something wrong with this test student. You'll have a little box right here that says select, and you can add it straight from here to your shopping cart. So this is not going to work for us.
Yeah, so I mean, at least that's the search. So let's go back and we'll show you really quickly how to do a course attribute. So course attribute is the other way to search for classes. So we mentioned those upper division GE classes. So you just select general education requirement, and then if you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, you'll see UDB, UDC, UDD. So you just pick whichever category, search, and it's going to show you the classes that are available for that requirement. And again, you can pick anything from the list. Some of them do have prerequisites. So if you haven't taken that class at your community college, if you have not met the prerequisite, the departments are usually pretty strict about that. Also, some of these classes do have department consent on them, which means that the department is reserving them for their students typically. So it'll tell you that, right where it says add consent. So you can try to ask to get into the class, but usually it goes a lot quicker if you just pick something that doesn't have that on there, because more than likely there's a reason that they have consent on there.
One more thing I want to show you, again, under course attribute, but this time university requirement. So let's say you're looking for upper division service learning. This is where you would go, and you would click UDSL, upper division service learning. You would hit search, and there you have it. It brings everything up. So again, for some reason, it's not letting us enroll into classes, maybe. Well, let's try enroll, Jessica. So you can click the enroll button right here. I do not have access at this time. It is angry at me. Okay. Yeah, so,
yeah,
we do have videos on this, how to add classes, how to enroll, because our test student is broken.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to show on this student center?
I think that's it for now. So we go back to our questions.
Yes.
So the next question is the Guar class recommended to take our first semester?
No, only because it's closed. It actually shows that there's one seat right now in Psych 302, which is your Guar. So Psych 302, your upper division research methods is your Guar, but we're holding that one seat for a senior that needs it to graduate. So we anticipate that Psych 302 will be gone. So we didn't actually even put it on the permission code document. So I would say wait till fall, and you should be able to get into it in fall. What else we got?
So the next question is, just to make sure, will you be sending out
Yes.
sending us the slides so we
slides.
can look just in case we miss anything?
Yeah, we will be sending out this presentation. We'll be sending out the video of the presentation, and a lot of the stuff that we covered today is in the emails that we sent out as well. So you should have gotten 3 emails from us already. If you haven't gotten those emails, definitely check in with me or with Chrissy so we can send them out to you. We have a document that we kind of keep all of the emails in as well. So, and that's always linked at the bottom of our emails that we send out. So you can always go back and look at those if you need to, but all the information is there.
The next question is, do you guys have Rate Your Professor?
It's not us. That's actually an outside source. It has nothing to do with universities. It's a third-party website, and you're welcome to check that. I will always say, a lot of times you'll find the professors that have these awesome ratings from students that, you know, got an A in the class, and then maybe somebody got a D they didn't think they deserved, even though they earned it. So just be very cautious with those because they're not always accurate.
Can I also say you could also reach out to current students? I put the Instagrams to both. I don't know which psychology Instagram is updated, but I put both the Instagrams in the chat for the clubs that are on campus.
Excellent.
And then the next question is, if I took Spanish for Spanish speakers, how do I know if I need to take another year of it?
So
you should not need it, depending on where you took it from.
And what level.
Check in with your advisor.
Yeah. Maria, check in with me. I think I'll be your advisor. So we just got to know where you took it so we can make sure that it'll clear it for you.
The next question we have is, do we email you directly to get the codes, or is this through a computer program?
So if you're using your CSUMB email, which we want you to use, unless you are the handful of students, which I know your name, who does not have a CSUMB email, please email your advisor, either Jessica or myself. But again, there was only 5 of you as of this morning that did not have their CSUMB emails turned on.
The next question is, hold on 1 second. I took research methods in psych, social psych, Spanish, and ethnic studies at my community college. How do I know if that counts as CSUMB?
So check in with me or Chrissy. The research methods class should be fine. Spanish, I don't know what level you took. So if it's intermediate, then you should be good. If not, it'll count towards the levels that you need, but we still need to have you get to the intermediate. So it just depends on what class it was. Ethnic studies, same thing. We just got to know what class it is, where you took it from, and we can answer those classes. The social psych class, like Chrissy mentioned earlier, is more than likely lower division. So you're going to have to take an upper division course here at CSUMB for that requirement. But chat with us if you'd like to get more info.
Do classes usually fill up? And if so, are they available in the fall to take?
Yes, classes do fill up quick. We are an impacted major at CSUMB, even though they lifted our impaction. But we are the second biggest major here at Cal State Monterey Bay, so our classes fill very quickly, which is why your choices are limited already for spring, because our students enrolled back in October. But fall will be a completely different story. It'll be much different. It'll be easier to register. You'll have a different registration time. You'll be higher up with priority. And you should be able to get into the classes that you can't get into this semester in fall.
Yeah. Most of our classes are offered every semester.
And then another question, I have general psychologist 2 at Hartnell College. This count for Psych 300?
Nope. So anything that's 300 level or higher here at CSUMB is upper division, which means it's taught at the university level. The community colleges are lower division courses, like the first 2 years. So anything that you took at your community college, for the most part, is not going to count for upper division requirements here at CSUMB. If you have, again, specific questions, or if you're not sure about a class, definitely check in with me or Chrissy. But any lower division psychology classes that you took are not going to count for our 300 level or higher classes here.
The next question is the lower division research class offered at CSUMB. Are there other classes that count as lower division research credit from a community college like Cabrillo?
So yeah, Psych 200 plus the lab is our lower division research methods, but the class is closed. So if you do not have research methods, I will highly, highly encourage you to take it at your community college, at Cabrillo, at Hartnell, at MPC, wherever you're coming from, even if you have to do the dual enrollment, because without lower division research methods, you won't be able to progress in the major and it will hold you back. So definitely reach out to whoever your advisor is so we can have that conversation of what's going to be best for you.
The next question is, I've sent a rushed electronic version electronically for my official transcripts yesterday to CSUMB admissions. Is this enough to start adding courses with no troubles with needing code requests before Tuesday?
More than likely, you're going to need permission codes. Even if it's electronic, admissions has to actually manually go through and add the correct codes for your classes and everything like that. It takes time. It's not just a couple of days. So definitely validate your classes when you add them into your shopping cart. And then if you do need the codes, absolutely send in the request so we can get those to you.
Yeah, I wish our test student was working so we could show you how to do that, but we have some really great videos on our guides and tools on our CSUMB advising website that actually walk you through validating your classes. It's very straightforward.
Yep.
Another question, if I took research methods in my community college just to confirm, I wouldn't have to take it again, or would I?
Well, you wouldn't have to take lower division research methods again, no, but you will have to take upper division research methods, yes.
The next question is, how do you activate the student email?
So just like Chrissy showed you on your dashboard, the mail link is the very first one on the dashboard. You just click on that. It's going to ask you to accept the terms for Google, Gmail, and then you're in. You should actually already be getting emails in there. So even if you haven't activated it, it's active. So you're getting emails there now. So we definitely recommend you check into that. If you're having trouble, you can check in with our IT help. And they can help you if there's some kind of error or something going on there.
The next question is, do we need to take the first year class? It recommends me this class on my Oasis.
Do you mean first year seminar? I guess we'll have to wait. If you mean first year seminar, no. If you're not a freshman, it's probably just something that's a glitch in the system. It typically always happens with our new semester transfers. So if you know you're coming in with more than 15 units, absolutely not. That class is just for freshmen.
Alrighty, we have a longer question here. Do we need to know which courses we will be taking when asking for the ad codes from advisors? For those who do not have their final transcripts in yet, or is it the general code for any class if we do not have our classes planned out for the first semester?
So you do need to know what classes you want to take, and they do need to be in your shopping cart. We will only give you codes for the classes that are in your cart, and we do check that. So yes, definitely plan out your classes. You can start today. You have Monday. You don't register until Tuesday. So I know it's a super quick turnaround, but Definitely plan out your classes. The codes that we give you are specific for that section and for that class. So you can't use the codes for different classes. It's only for that one class, and it only works one time. So definitely have your classes planned out. Fill out the form and send it to us. We'll get you the codes as soon as possible. If you filled out the form already, and if you need new classes, like they fill up or whatever it might be, or that doesn't fit with your schedule, then make sure you email A through L Chrissy and through the email me, and we can send you out different codes if the ones that you already requested need to be updated. We can do that. But yes, absolutely, put them in your shopping cart, get that started as soon as possible, and we'll give you codes for the classes that are in those carts.
For the next question, for the next question, I could show them the answer if you want me to, but the question is, where's dashboard?
Okay, it's kind of what I had flashed back to before I started showing you the Oasis. Your dashboard is what you log into with when you log on to CSUMB.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to show them what that is, or is that good?
I can show them. Let me share real quick. So let me share real quick. Where's my thing?
So it looks like we got about 10 more minutes too.
Okay, while I'm doing that, do you want to?
For the next session, it'll be a break, and then I'll put the Zoom link in the chat.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. We'll keep going.
The next question is, how do we open the CSUMB emails?
I think we answered that one earlier. So just in your dashboard, when you log into the csumb.edu, you sign in with your Otter ID password. It's right there, dashboard, and the email is the very first one. It's right there.
Next question, what is an ideal basic schedule for a transfer student you could recommend for someone who does not know where to start?
So definitely refer back to our emails. And if you have not gotten our first 2 emails, please reach out to us. But we kind of gave you some suggested first semester courses, Psych 300, maybe Upper Division B, maybe Upper Division C, maybe language, maybe service learning. You don't have to be in all psych classes. We don't really need you to be in all psych classes because you have other things you can check. So taking one from each of those categories would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And again, please reach out to us.
We do also have kind of like a general, like super basic like pathway on our advising website. So if you want to see kind of what that looks like, I think we sent out links to that, but it's on our academic advising website. It's a psychology pathway. If you just want to kind of take a look at it, that's kind of what a recommended like pathway looks like. But it's really, really up to you. Like you get to decide how you want to take the classes, when you want to take the classes. The great thing about psychology is you don't have to take them in any specific order after you get the prereqs done. You can take your clinical psych now, you can do it with your last semester. It's really flexible. We just want you to take 300 this semester. That's like one of the ones that you want to take very first. Psych 302 you have to take before capstone, but really aside from that, it's flexible. So just whatever fits, whatever sounds interesting, whatever's going to keep you engaged this first semester, that's what you want to add.
How are we doing on questions?
I'm going through the questions right now to see if there are any pressing ones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, if we don't get to your questions today, please send us an email. Either Jessica, if you're M through Z, or myself, if you're A through L, and we will answer your question via email.
There is a student that's asking for one of the students, one of the OLs, to share their screen, but I would just suggest going to the advising website to check out those videos because they are pretty detailed on that end. You need to take at least 12 units.
If you want to be full-time, you don't have to take 12 units if you don't want to. You can be part-time, it's entirely up to you.
There's a question, is there a good chance we could still be full-time students? I know when it comes to December, most classes are already filled.
Yeah, so I mean, between those, if you've completed the prerequisites, between the intro or between the upper division psych classes we mentioned, you need upper division GE in those 3 categories. That's 3 classes right there. And I know there's still open classes in each category. Your service learning is an option, ethnic studies, your language. So you have a lot to pick from. It might not be like your most ideal perfect schedule that you would like for your first semester, but you can get into classes. So definitely at least like, the 12, if not the 15, if you're shooting for graduating as soon as possible. So try it. Like I said, I know it's super fast and this is like a lot of information we're throwing at you in a very short amount of time, but try not to panic. Just, read through the emails super carefully. We answer a lot of the stuff in the emails and in this presentation that we did. So just kind of, take your time. You do have time. You have 2 days to get everything situated. So just, log into your computer, take your time, go through the requirements, take a look at the pathways. Like I said, if you want an example, and then of course, email me or Chrissy if you really, really need, help, if you're totally lost. Like, we don't want you to feel like you're alone in this. Like, we're definitely here to help. So just check in with us.
We got 5 minutes, OLs. How we doing?
I'm going to explain how to get to the next session before we forget.
Okay.
So right now, or when we're done, it'll be 11:30. And from 11:30 to
put my hat on.
From 11:30 to 12, we're going to have a break. So you can go ahead and get your lunch, do what you need to do, take a bio break, and then we'll get back together at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to put this link in the chat to our financial aid for students session. And that's where you can answer all those, you can ask all those financial aid questions that y'all had. I'm pretty sure this is a Zoom link, but I'm going to put it in twice so I can make sure, because I don't want to send you to the wrong place, But yeah, so the next session will be financial aid. So I see that there's a lot of financial aid questions in the chat. And Kristen, do you see any other pressing questions? Because I would just say to email them separately, because there's a lot of questions that could be answered separately.
Yeah, just this one last one. Are most psychology courses available during the summer if I cannot register in the spring?
We offer a few, and it just depends. Yeah. So there are a couple of options typically, but not every single class is going to be in summer. Yeah, so I guess we'll kind of just wrap up. If we didn't get to the questions that you put in the chat, please feel free to email me or Chrissy. Again,
Yes.
A through L Chrissy, and through Z me. Try to just email one of us. I promise we'll get to you, so don't panic and start sending a bunch of emails. We will definitely respond, and we're trying to go as quickly as possible through all of them. We are going to be available all next week for you. So if you have questions, concerns, and the thing I always like to say too, even though registration is on Tuesday, you still have, after Tuesday to register. It's not like you have to absolutely register. I mean, we want you to register as soon as possible. But there's lots of time, before the semester starts, January 25th, there's a lot of time to get everything sorted out, to make sure your schedule is like all set, you're in the best classes. So I know it's going to be like a mad rush to register on Tuesday, but again, we have time, so don't panic too much. We'll make sure we get you into classes.
Students will jump around too. Students will get into a class and be like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And a seat might come open during that first week that school starts, or even, January 10th or 11th. So you can keep checking the schedule. And other than about 2 weeks around the holidays, Jessica and I will be around. We do take off for a little bit, but we'll be back on the 4th, and we'll be around to answer any questions.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you all for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
Rock. Thank you so much for everything. And please email us if you need anything. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. We'll see you all in spring. Thank you.
Bye.
And go